back to beautiful Oceanside, California for the final round of the Challenge at Echo Hill presented by Innova Champion Discs. I am Ian Anderson, hanging out with Philo Brathwaite.
What it do, everybody?
We've got a fantastic lead card for you. Alden Harris has built himself a little 4-stroke lead over the field.
Had a really solid round, too. Put the work, put the screws to those guys in the second card and see what happens here on final round, huh?
Yeah. Drew Gibson fired off day 2. Finds himself back in the lead card along with Luke Sampson and Parker Welck, who we saw in the Daniel Boat coverage just a couple weeks back. Got a great game, backhand and sidearm.
Nice.
There are your scores. Maybe could happen from the chase card from Cody, maybe Jaden, but it would take a pretty good round.
Yeah, it's going to take some super low rounds. Going to have to go real deep on this windy track to make up some ground, and these guys are going to have to help him out a little bit. We'll see what happens, huh?
You got it, buddy. Kicking us off on hole 1.
Okay, here we are once again. 818 feet of headwind. OB on the left, got a Mando on the right to deal with. Out the opening gauntlet. Don't want to drip too far to the left. There's that hazard line. Obviously a very protected green. Plenty of space over here in the middle, off to the right. Gives you a good angle into the green. Try to avoid that golf green and these little hazard bunkers over here and try to collect yourself an opening hole birdie.
Did you get this one yesterday?
I did somehow.
Nice, man. Nice.
Got it up and threw it far off the tee and got myself pin high. Made a little 35-footer to start the day.
Heck yeah, bud. That's such a good make. Like, such a great round kickoff.
Absolutely.
Alden Harris just been playing so solid all weekend. Sitting with a 4-stroke lead.
That looked way too easy.
Doesn't it?
Drooping off to the left a little bit, but there's some land over there to work with.
I honestly wonder if he isn't playing for over there. For that angle you kind of talked about yesterday.
It does open it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Luke Sampson, just absolute grinder on tour. A huge talent.
I really like where Luke's game's at right now. He's building some confidence, really starting to find his way. He's been working real hard lately.
There's a wraith off the tee.
That's a great looking swing right there. Get you more towards the center of the fairway.
Mm-hmm.
Very nicely done.
And Drew Gibson. Drew going destroyer.
He's been playing for that hot line with that Jumpman disc right down the middle. That's the shot right there.
Way over Ruben's head. Look at that thing file.
Yeah, that was further than the first round.
Over the berm, man.
That's huge. Little putter up shot for Drew coming up.
Well called. Parker going with the destroyer.
Hole nerves there for Parker.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good recovery shot here, though.
That's a massive recovery shot up the hill with the footwork and everything. Wow.
He's just short of the green, the golf green.
Huge.
Yeah, it was a pump. Harris, his second on 1.
Main thing to keep in mind here is that crossing wind's going to really hang your disc out.
It looks like he beefed up to a D1 over his D2. He's going to fade into that crossing wind.
He played that perfectly.
Very nice. Samson second. Throwing a yarn. Luke sponsored by Castoplast.
Mm-hmm.
That makes some cool discs.
I like that angle of attack. Comes up a hair short, but safe.
Yeah, circle's edge look. And here is a jokery for Gibson. Just 182 left on this par 4. Really kind of just breaking the hole almost.
Yeah, he's going to get to play a little bump and run off the green and comes up a hair short. A little bit of a downhill headwinder.
Yeah.
You have to bury that in the bottom of the basket.
Here's what Welck got to after his second.
That's a fantastic recovery shot. Ooh, buzzing the tower there. Give himself a little circle 1 look. Try to scrape up that par.
Yeah. Samson, birdie look. Circle's edge. Nervy putt on hole 1.
That headwind can really get in your head.
Yeah.
Not surprised to see that one come in low.
Welck for the par save. After that shank of a drive, this would be great.
Yeah, that'd be a massive par. And there it is, a massive par.
Yeah.
Good way to recover, get things leveled off.
Yeah. Looking at Harris to get to 24 down.
Stretch that lead out over Luke by another stick.
Correct. This guy's making all the putts he should this weekend. Haven't seen him.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take to win. You know, you can't really leave any of those inside circle 1 putts on the floor.
Gibson to match that birdie from Harris. You like going to the knee on these at all, Philo? Or are you more of a stand guy?
I don't really drop down to a knee unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I always feel like it messes with your swing more than it's worth it for the elevation.
Yeah, it does. I would agree with that. You're going to lose some range of motion when you drop down to a knee and you're kind of just shoving the disc forward, which is maybe not always the worst thing. It depends on how the wind is blowing. You know, when it's blowing in your face like that and you feel like you want to get a little lower to the ground, I can see why people would try it, but it does alter your swing path some.
Welck, fantastic par save. Double checking to make sure it dropped in right there.
These baskets can be a little greasy.
They can. Looking at hole 2, it's a big ask.
Yeah, I think, it's there. You got to really just play the wind. You know it's going to push that disc hard over to the right, so you just got to anticipate and throw the right stability in the right place and just let the disc kind of slide over to the right, or you can go more overstable and play under that tree and play for the late fade. It's totally a gettable birdie, though.
Harris, the D1. It seems like you guys are starting to figure this hole out. We're seeing a lot more birdies than we used to.
Yeah, you got to challenge that tree like Alden did. You got the speed and can throw the disc straight. That's the play.
Eagle for Gibson. Look at it just ride the wind, Philo.
That's the way that I've always drawn it up in my mind. Kind of hang it out there about 50 feet left and let the wind do all the work for you. Well done by Drew.
Sampson with a lots.
Oh yeah, look at all that speed on the disc. Oh my goodness.
These guys rip. Parker Welck, destroyer.
He gave that hole all the respect, and the wind just absolutely assisted that park job.
What a shot.
Wow.
Harris sneaks it over the rim for back-to-back birdie starts for your leader.
Every time this guy sees one of those challenging little windy putts, he's knocking them down.
Yeah. Sampson to keep pace.
Uh-oh.
Another low one. Gotta get him up. They're not in the chains yet, Philo. Gibson to match the birdie from Harris.
There we go. Back-to-back solid putters for Drew Gibson.
God, everybody in the circle are close to it on this one.
I'm sure Luke is kicking himself a little bit for missing that one.
No doubt. As the par comebacker right now.
Jams that one in there, collects his par.
He does jam them in, man.
He does.
He fires those things. Welck, one of the best drives I've ever seen on this hole. Getting started with a nice birdie.
Yeah, that was a great recovery back on hole 1. And tightens it up on hole 2, drops a dime in there, a little tap-in action.
Yeah. Alden Harris riding that wind in to the chains perfectly.
He's looked very calm and confident all weekend long.
On to hole 3.
Not too much to really stress out here on hole 3 other than maybe the second shot into the green. Plenty of space to land a drive in this pretty wide and forgiving fairway. You got a helping wind for the righty backhand play. I don't think there's too many lefties in the field this weekend, right? So everybody should be feeling pretty comfortable off the tee here. But yeah, this green gets real tight. Kind of bottlenecks up here towards the back end of the green. That OB on the left side brought in good 25, 30 feet. I don't think there ever was an OB off to the left, but yeah, some things to think about with that crosswind. It's ripping hard today from right to left.
Very much right there. Harris with a D2. Just a casual shot that's going to go right in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, a good 500 feet as well. I mean, that's 460.
Yeah.
Smooth sailing, one angle.
Gibson, destroyer. It's up there somewhere, I promise. There it is.
Blending in with the sky.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fading way up the hill.
Yeah, that's right about where he was the first 2 rounds.
Welck going destroyer as well.
There you go. Nice little cut swing on that.
Parker's got a little smash in him there. 68.
68's pretty speedy.
It is, man. Hanging
good number.
Right with Alden and Sampson. This is going to be a wraith. Lovely shape on this one.
Oh, yeah. Right out there in the flat and almost level part of the fairway. You're going to have a nice look.
Yeah. Harris the second. You can just see the flag peeking over the hill there.
Gotta mind the wind on this second shot. It's, pushing really hard. It's going to lift the disc if you give it too much elevation.
Harris going mid. That's his M1, I believe.
That got hung out a little bit. Try to droop back and just barely does.
Chance for birdie. Welck. Going with a gator.
Oh,
God, inches.
Gracious. He used every inch of that green.
What a terrible reaction, man.
Bad break.
Gosh.
I think that's all wind.
Yeah.
Just pushing the disc along.
Sampson. A Berg approach. And that did what a Berg does a little too well, which is not fly.
Yeah, that thing dropped like a stone. You're going to have a fun little tailwind putt.
Yeah. And Gibson just under 200 left on the par 4. Going jokery.
That'll do for Drew Gibson. Swings a little wide. Going to have a little bit of a crossing heading putt, but well inside circle 1.
Welck to save par from the hazard. Oh!
This guy's got some game, huh?
Damn!
That's a big putt, man. And that heading wind like that. Look, good 45-footer.
A mounded basket?
Oof.
What a gamer.
Wow.
Harris. Birdie look.
Well, gave it a good bid. Looks like he caught some band.
He did, yeah.
There we go. Opportunity for Luke Sampson. Get one back.
See if we can get that putter working.
Yeah. There we go.
He's got an interesting putt. It almost looks like a pitch putt, and then it turns into like a wicked spin putt.
Very snappy out the gate.
Yeah. Putting's one of those things, everybody makes their own way.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Find something comfortable for yourself. It all works.
Thank you.
For the most part. Gibson asking for the people just to stand still in the background. If you're ever watching the disc golf tournament, just stand still. Nobody cares if you're behind the basket. Birdie look for Gibson. Chance to grab a stroke on Harris.
Another solid putt. Little star frame, turkey action there for Gibson.
Yeah.
3 in a row.
That's a good start if you're trying to make a charge from...
Absolutely. You're going to need to get close to touching them all today if you're going to, come back 4 or 5 strokes on somebody.
Especially if that's somebody's Alden Harris.
Yeah, he's been playing a solid week of golf, so he's not really leaving too many strokes out there on the field for these guys to make up ground.
And makes the par comebacker nicely. Drew spins home the birdie. And we'll take a quick break. Back in just a few after a word from our sponsors.
When I walk up to the tee, I have these game plans. I think I'm going to land in these same areas every single time, but you never know. Having the Bushnell rangefinder, no matter where I land, gives me that extra level of confidence.
What do I love about disc golf? Same thing we all love. Sound of the chains.
I love that you can play on a course or make up your own.
My favorite thing about disc golf is challenging myself every time I step onto a court.
What do I love disc golf? It gives me the chance to connect with an incredible community and throw some pretty amazing discs. Because after all, pig is love, pig is life.
I love disc golf because you can be as creative as you want with this sport.
Back to the GOAT. We're looking at hole 4, 878 par 4 into a ripping headwind. I hope you throw far.
Yeah, and it's a little bit uphill off the box. You got that hill from the fairway that kind of, you really want to crest over that, and you really want to keep the disc low, so it's kind of a weird angle to attack on this hole, and I've seen so many shots just get beat down and barely go 250 feet up the fairway because just can't match the angle, and it's a long order on this one, man. You got to push the disc a long way to have any chance of making birdie 3. I've seen a lot of pars on this one.
I don't think we've seen a 3 yet.
I heard Eli got one.
That's
Big
right.
Toe's son got one. A few guys made birdie, but yeah, it's a tough get.
Gibson destroyer. 75-mile-an-hour smash from Gibson.
And Gibson takes the hot line up the right side, a little bit less elevation. More of a narrow line into the green as well.
Got that wraith again for Sampson.
That needs to hook up in a
It's
hurry.
trying so hard.
There we go.
All
Just
right.
barely does.
He's in business. Harris with a D2. That's too high.
Yeah, didn't get the nose over also, so it's going to kind of taper backwards a little bit, maybe even at the end. That's not terrible, though.
He can still get his easy 4.
Yeah, you can fire it across the backside of the green, pitch up, get a 4, no worries.
Welck and a destroyer.
There it is. There's the win. Gobbledygook.
Thin margin for error. And Welck going back to the destroyer and goodbye.
Yeah.
So he's over on 14's fairway, Philo.
Wow.
Yeah. So you'll see a shot from down there in a little bit. Harris going back to a D2.
Also needs to hook up. There's some OB over there, and oh no, that looks like it was gone.
Looked like it.
Opportunity for Luke Sampson again. See if he can gain another stroke.
Okay.
Smart play right there.
Give himself an easy 4 with the leader already in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Gibson. Too much hyzer on that.
Yeah, you got to hang it out there on the right side a bit more. And again, these guys are so lucky that there's no OB off to the left.
We got to make that OB next
They
year.
got it, man. They got to punish the guys that are getting greedy.
Exactly. Here's Welck from 14's fairway, pitching it up to right there. So up and down 5.
Good effort.
Mm-hmm. Harris throwing 4. Should be dropping at a 5. And Sampson throwing 3.
Dude.
Gibson also throwing 3. And Welck to save par.
This would be a huge par save, 2 for 2.
Yeah. Cross wind uphill putt. Ow.
Wow, what a bid.
Hoping for a little more help from the wind there. That could have
Wow.
pushed in nicely. Harris.
Nicely done to Knock that bogey save in there and keep the hemorrhaging to 1 stroke.
Sampson to get a stroke on your leader, and does that with a par. He and Gibson will find themselves 4 back as they head to hole 5. And Parker saves his bogey. That hole is a bear of a par 4.
Yeah, it's definitely in the tweener realm, you know. Most people are going to make a 4 on that hole. It's really hard to get into position off the tee to attack the green, especially with all that headwind. So we'll see what they do for next year. But back to one of the classic holes here, the go to mids, hole 5, 344 off the box. Feels more like a 325. It's a little bit downhill. You're going to have a lot of helping crossing wind, accelerating the disc on the way into the green. You don't really see too many guys going to the sidearm because of the potential of a rollaway and find yourself on the ball golf green, so most guys are going to go straight at it or a little baby hyzer and spike it in.
Drew, jokery.
Gosh, look at that wind.
Just dancing it all around.
But that's fine. He's well inside circle 1, maybe 5-6 paces off.
Samson. Luke is throwing a recox.
It's not the worst place to be.
Very makeable putt. Harris, M1.
Okay, these guys all playing for the straight and narrow.
And Welck.
Ooh, big miss there.
Yeah, it's a rock 3.
Yeah, he rolled over on that, though. He kind of started out the gate with a hyzer swing, and then right at the end, snapped his wrist down to the right.
Really?
Yeah, that's where the disc followed.
So here he is down kind of somewhere between 13 and 14s.
Also kind of fortunate there's no OB way over there.
You could say that. He totally could. Harris for birdie. Looks like he's outside, lining up that stepper.
There we go.
Good curl.
Yeah, that's his first missed putt we've seen in a lot of holes.
Samson to close the gap to 3.
Man, that thing's coming in fast.
Fires it over the hay bale. Almost knocks over the basket.
Good get there, though, for Luke.
It was.
Starting to whittle down at Alden Harris's lead.
That's another good par save from Welck. I don't know if Drew was getting like attacked by a bee over here or something. I forgot to ask him. There was some kind of shenanigans happening before this putt. Here it is for birdie, though, and to also get within 3 of the lead.
Something's still getting after him over there, huh?
Fire ants or
Probably some fire ants.
bee? Yeah.
There's a bunch of ants right around there.
Are there? Okay. Oh, yeah, there are, aren't there?
Not only is it a goat hill, it's an ant hill.
Biggest anthill in the world. Harris makes par, but he will lose a stroke. That lead is 3 as they head to 6. Sampson fires this right over the hay bale.
Little shovel spin putt. High in the chains.
They're wider the higher you go, I guess.
This is true. Sometimes in these windy conditions, they don't stick. Sometimes they cut right through or get pushed back out in your face. Hole 6, this has been a pretty challenging hole to score on. You got a really small landing zone to get to and a very steep uphill grade to get towards the basket. You know, you get up here past this green or pin high into this sweet spot right about there, things are going to feel pretty gettable. If you come up shorter than that, you're going to have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, You're gonna have some weird uphill run-ups most of the time.
And you're gonna have to cut the disc with some anhyzer, which you don't really want to do. You really would like to throw a hyzer into the screen to keep it on that one angle and staying safe, ideally, the whole time.
Drew with his eagle.
Ooh, that needs to sit down. Well, he could have got punished worse for that.
Yeah, he very much could have. He was on a very steep part of the hill over there. Sampson. This is a destroyer for Luke.
That hooks up and stays safe. That's a mash. Unfortunately, will not. He's in the hazard. He can play from that spot, get up and down for 4.
Yeah, it should be an easy 4, right?
It should be.
Yeah. Harris, D2.
Another opportunity for Alden here to right the ship, and that's a nice looking shot.
Almost nearly what he did yesterday.
Super close. Yep.
And Welck going to show you off that awesome forehand. This is a 70-mile-an-hour smash, Philo.
That's really nice, man.
This is like AB territory, man.
That is. It's a fantastic place to throw a second shot from, and yeah, this is not where you want to be.
Look at this slope.
That's
Drew's
probably like
working
a
with.
30-degree angle right there. It's so steep.
We saw Jacob kind of lay up from a similar position yesterday. Drew giving up the body, full commitment to this shot, Philo. Incredible, man.
That was huge. Takes a lot of courage to pull a shot like that out the bag.
Way out of position.
Things can go wrong so quickly with that type of a pull. And Drew Gibson, wow.
I was so impressed with that yesterday.
That was impressive.
Harris, his second. Looks left, but does stay in bounds. And here's Drew's finger after that.
Wow.
Ugh.
That's not looking pretty at all.
No, there's a bunch of super glue went on that shortly after. Welck's second. After a fantastic drive.
Yeah, he's pretty much done this about as clean as you can. 2 beautiful shots. Drew it up, just like we talked about.
Yeah, it was a Draco approach there.
Wow. Kid's got some speed, huh?
He does have an arm on him. Sampson throwing 3 after the OB drive. Just 209 left on the pin. Or hole, excuse me.
Scares the chains a bit there on the flyby. We'll tap in for his par. Nicely done.
Yeah. Harris. Circle 2, look for birdie again. Most likely needs a birdie here to maintain a 3-stroke lead with Gibson looking pretty close.
Second time we've seen his putter hit the ground.
Yeah. First air ball in a while, though.
No doubt. See if he can snap this comebacker in.
Did exactly what he did. Snapped it right in. Samson to save par. Kind of a headwind downhill putt, combating forces a little bit. You got to put the nose down a little.
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people would probably throw a little bit of a turnover putt at it because you kind of expect those, kind of nose up discs to kind of get lifted. So,
Okay.
nice job there from Luke to pop that one in there.
Here's Gibson to close the gap to 2.
No. That was dirty.
Brutal.
Dirty.
Brutal, man. Ugh.
Ocean chains, man.
Ocean chains, ocean breeze.
Chains, yes.
Yeah.
You can look, if you just walked up on the assembly, you'd see they are rusted. They just sit out here in this super moist air all the time.
Parker, what a birdie. That's a stroke on the card for Welck.
Yeah, that was a great drive. Set him up for that second shot.
Having a good forehand is so handy on hole 6 for that drive.
It's just handy in general these days on tour.
Also true. Also true. Sampson saving par nicely. We will head over to hole 7. Shortest hole in the course.
Yeah, you got to get this one 260. If you got a flick, that's the play to do. There's plenty of helping wind blowing off of your left shoulder back towards the hole. You got these little mini go-to-mids right here to deal with the hay bales, so anticipate either coming in right over the top of them or just around them. Righty backhand shot's a bit more technical. You got that wind that really wants to help push, but you know, you got some land to work with.
Welck has earned the box after that birdie.
Also that one mandatory up there on the tree, the eucalyptus with the white mark on it. You got to stay left of that.
Rock 3, backhand for Welck.
Uh-oh. Looks like he made the man.
He did, yes.
I was looking scared for a second.
That's a great backstop on that tree, too.
Yeah, it definitely saved him about 150 feet.
Make sure you're going to the forehand play.
Looked a little early, but that checked up nice.
It did, yeah, right on the tree, that trunk of the tree right there. Got a Berg coming for Sampson. This hole's so interesting because people throw backhands and forehands that you wouldn't expect either one. You know, I would have expected a backhand from Parker with his sidearm, but with the wind, leads you to the backhand. I don't know.
If I had the sidearm, I'd be using it.
Would you? Harris, A3. That is parked. Here's Parker for birdie.
Had the right idea.
Just a little low. Gibson to keep pace. Harris is parked.
There we go. That wasn't even as nice of a putt as the last one.
It wasn't. That's true.
Well, the last putt looked way better, and this one got a better result.
Harris pushes the lead back to 3. Sampson also very close. Great Berg shot there. You ever check out a Berg? You ever seen one?
Oh yeah, those things are stones, man. It's so hard. I don't know how anybody can throw that thing.
It's like throwing a brick, man.
It is.
What's the newest disc in your bag, Philo?
The newest disc in my bag.
Is it the Falcon or is it something else?
I think probably the Falcon. I can't think of anything else that's been released. Actually, I got a Toro in my bag.
You got a Toro now?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I haven't really used it much, surprisingly, even with all this wind out here. It never came out the bag. There's just not a lot of mid-range shots on this course.
That is true.
Maybe like a couple of rock shots, but not a Toro shot. Those are way more overstable.
Drew's snaking that one home for a very nice birdie. Keep him 3 back. We are looking at hole 8.
This is a fun one to watch the disc fly for sure. If you got the arm speed and shot shaping abilities, you can really set yourself up pretty for short tap in, like just a little layup, kind of an approach shot. If you get up to where this golf cart is right about there, you're inside 300 feet. That should feel like easy pickings all day. Not a lot to worry about on this hole either. And there's some OB way off to the left if you early release or fade out super hard, which is very unusual. One Mando to deal with.
That's where the AM arm that fades left.
Yeah.
You guys throw so far, if it fades left, you're past that OB line. Well, speaking of that, here we go. Drew exemplifying.
Yeah, it's not going to put him in too much trouble. Bad angle, but he's not out of bounds or anything.
Yeah, he's fine. Samson, Lucas Destroyer. Yes.
Ideally, that's the shape of a shot you want right there. Get it over the crest of the hill, get that thing drooping to the right. You're going to get yourself onto the higher side of the hill.
Dude, he's up there where AB was.
Close, yeah, that's in the neighborhood. That's just a little chip shot for those guys from there.
Huge pull from Samson.
Big time throw.
Harris.
There we go. There we go. That's fine.
Yep, right in the
bottom
middle.
Dropped out of it a little bit,
did,
but yeah, he had that on the right line.
Welck, Glow Destroyer.
Also pulling out the right shape of shot. See if the wind allows it to float. Oh,
No.
that nose dived.
We're just short of that drop zone.
Just over 400 feet or so from there. That was a good stop.
I left that in there because you talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, that ground is choppy right there and messes up the footwork. Oh, and a foot fault.
Big Destroyer mash despite that, though. He's putting.
know if anybody saw that on his card, but he totally clobbered his disc.
Yeah, Luke gave him a little, watch your foot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Most guys aren't really looking.
Gibson from way left of fairway. His arm's still in position. Looks like the scepter.
Wow.
Look at
what a
that.
shot.
It bounced backwards back at the basket.
Drew Gibson doing work. Showing off the arm.
Harris just 320 left on the hole. FX2 for Alden. Fairway driver. And
That's workable, serviceable.
yeah.
A little shy for 320 foot.
Yeah, it is.
He's been putting well all week.
Sampson with a berg.
There we go. You'd like to see him be maybe a hair more aggressive, but that'll do.
There's more room on the backside of this than you think. It's about 20, 30 feet. Welck for birdie.
Yeah, tough with those tailwind putts putting up the hill to shoot it up over the band and expect the drop.
Yep. Harris finds himself in circle 2. Birdie look.
That'll be safe. It should be. Anyway.
Yeah, he's safe. Sampson and Gibson now. Chance to snag a stroke on Harris.
Well, Gibson's about 3 or 4 steps off the basket. This is a little bit more work for Luke.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 paces off the bucket. Ripping tailwind. Nicely done.
Good putt.
And then it was 2.
Mm-hmm. Harris to keep it at 2 to save par.
Every time they push him and they test him, this guy comes through with another clutch putt. That wasn't the prettiest one of all of them, but hey, it's in the basket. Count it.
The result is good. And now Gibson to get within 2 as well. It's getting tight out here,
He's
Philo.
staring these things in, make sure they drop into the cylinder.
Tailwind putt's a little less scary in that regard, hopefully. There's Parker making his par. And it's whipping at a Goat Hill.
Another look at that whippy, snappy putt. Luke Sampson mean mugging that thing straight in.
Luke's a big dude, man. He is tall.
He's a big fellow, I'm telling you, man. I
Yeah.
said this a bunch of times, man.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of D1 looking athletes playing
Yeah.
disc golf these days, you know, like kids that should be in college playing baseball or lacrosse or something, and they're out here showing up on the disc golf course like, man, go back to playing them other sports, man. Leave us alone. No, I'm joking. It's good. Great to have them out
It's
here
awesome,
and see
man.
these guys and their athleticism putting on a show. Hole 9, par 3, every disc golfer's favorite number. Well, most disc golfers' favorite number. About 20 of them.
And Drew Gibson with an eagle, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to the eagle. This is chain hunting almost.
It sure looked like it
Looked
from the
it for a
box,
second.
man.
Well done from Drew Gibson, pin high.
Sampson with a cax.
What's this thing fly like?
It's a fairway, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah. T-bird-ish. Oh, that's trouble.
Not anymore.
What?
I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Ian.
Elevator up, man.
Yeah, usually those get sucked down when you throw them low. Usually when you throw them high, then they go.
Right.
That was very fortunate. Nicely done.
And really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
D1 for Harris.
I'm sure Alden was like, what? Get out of here.
This is the more traditional line.
Oh, yeah. Just posterizing that.
Throwing a dime.
Absolutely. Trying to spike it in the chains.
Mr. Welck, he is going with a T-bird.
Okay. Not a bad looking swing. Right there, pin high next to Drew. Well inside circle one.
Yeah, everybody birdie looks.
Yeah, this should be a star frame.
It hasn't been the first 2 days, you know? This is like the more expected result on this hole, I feel like.
There we go. Nice birdie there for Mr. Welck.
Yeah, definitely. Gibson needs this to stay 2 back.
Nice little snappy jammer into the bottom of the chains for Drew.
Great spot to hit in a headwind.
Oh, yeah.
Sampson to also stay 2 back.
20-foot pop in there. Bang. There we go.
Look at those turkeys for Samson and Gibson as they chase down Harris. And Alden to push the lead back to 2.
It's not even like Alden's playing bad. They're just playing a little better.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking about that earlier. Like, what would you rather have, playing with the lead or being the guys trying to chase him down, you know, on the same card, just a few sticks back, you know? Most people are going to say I'd rather have the lead. But, I mean, sometimes when you're in the lead and you got a few guys chasing after you, things start getting a little tight and start coughing up strokes.
Especially depending on who those people are chasing you down.
You got 2 guys that can move the disc just as well as you can and putt the disc as well as... It's going to be a fun back 9. This thing got real tight all of a sudden. Here it comes.
Sir. Thanks for watching this one, guys. We will catch you in that back 9 and that exciting finish at Goat Hill.